Welcome to class today. Let's just go ahead and move into our breath. You could have your hands palm face up or onto your knees. And I have my toes curled under, so this is a fire toes position. Stretching out the whole back of your feet, your ankles. You might notice if you sit in it long enough, it's going to start burning and feel a little uncomfortable, but that's good. It's good to be stretching out the feet and working the feet. So go ahead, close your eyes, move into the breath. Find the even turning of the breath. So maybe you inhale for 3 and exhale for 3. We could add in the 3-part breath where we breathe into our lungs. You could put your hands on your side ribs, breathe into the side ribs, feel them expand. And then breathe deep into your belly, put your hand on your belly. And then exhale through the belly. Feel the collapse of the side ribs. Push more air out, feel the chest collapse as well. So go ahead, repeat. Inhale through the chest, through the side ribs, and through the belly. Exhale through the belly, through the side ribs, and through the chest. Again, inhale through the chest, through the side ribs, through the belly. Exhale through the belly, through the side ribs, and through the chest. Continue on your own. Slowly open up your eyes and then go ahead, reach your hands forward, flex your fingers back. And then we're going to take our hands, close your hands, and then go ahead, open them back up. So start to go really quick, pulling your hands back towards your face as much as you can. And clapping your hands down together. This is going to help work the forearms. We're going to do some inversions today. So if you can, try to go as fast as you can and then try to really reach the fingertips back. It looks like it would be easy in the beginning, but as you keep going, it gets hard. So keep going, see if you can add some speed. Keep opening your hands as wide as you can get them. It's gonna burn, but it'll feel good too. So keep going. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Take your hands, interlace your fingers, reach your arms all the way up overhead. Drop your shoulders down, and then reach your arms over to the right side of the room. Look underneath the left bicep. Inhale back to the center, exhale, bend over to the left side, reach. Look under your right bicep. And then reach it all the way out in front of you. Go ahead, come forward and take your fingertips. Let's come to a tabletop. Bring your fingertips towards the back. So point your fingertips towards you. And then maybe your feet are kind of sore, so go ahead and roll your ankles if you'd like. And then go ahead, curl the toes under and sit back onto your heels. So you're stretching the wrists, the back of your wrists. Let's take our hands, flip them over. So be careful when you're on the backs of your hands. They can be a lot more sensitive. Let's take your fingertips, point them towards each other, make a fist, and then work on straightening your arms. Let's come into a plank position. But we want to turn our hands around. So turn the hands around. Fingertips towards your feet, and then go ahead, come up into a plank position. Let's hold this roughly 30 seconds. So it'll be a lot more uncomfortable. You could have soft elbows in this position. Hug the belly in, engage your quads, engage your hamstrings. Push your heels towards the back of the room. Find your breath. So don't lose the breath throughout the practice. Keep breathing. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on out of it. Whew. Curl the toes under. Once again, take your hands behind the back body. Find a back bend. Lift through your heart, interlace your fingers, and then draw your hands down towards the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, bring the top of your head down to the floor. Reach your arms all the way up overhead. So it's a modified rabbit. And then slowly come back up. Let's go ahead and find some arm circles. So just bring the right arm all the way back. Just warming up our shoulders. And then let's roll it forward. So bring the arm forward a couple of times. And take your arm across the body. Take your left arm over the right. Feel the stretch in the back of the shoulder. And then let's go ahead and release. Work the left arm. So a couple of circles going forward. Really just working the shoulders. And we're going to start off doing some planks. And then go backwards a couple of times. And then take your arm across your body. Go ahead and use your right arm over the left. Squeeze it in. Feel the stretch in the back of the left arm. And then go ahead, come into your plank position. Before we do that, let's bring our blocks in. So bring your two blocks together. And the first plank or push-up that we're going to do is a diamond push-up. So bring your fingers, your index fingers and your thumbs to touch, and then put them down onto the blocks. Curl the toes under and kick your heels back, coming into the diamond plank. So you could hold the plank here, and we're going to do push-ups. So you could either do the push-ups with your knees off the ground, or if you need to, press your knees down into the ground. But we have 5 push-ups. So go ahead, exhale, come on down. Whew. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. 2 more. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. 1 more. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. Whew. Let's go ahead, come on out of it. Curl your toes under. Push the blocks out of the way. So you'll notice sometimes when you do push-ups, I do them the same way a lot, and those are really easy for me. As soon as I change up the hands, they get a lot harder. So we're working different muscles. That's why we want to hit up different areas. So let's go ahead and bring our hands. Let's find the hands by your shoulders. So this is the way that we normally do the push-ups. Take a deep inhale, and let's go ahead. We got 5. So exhale, come on down. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, push up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. We got 2 more. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. And then you can come back onto the toes once again. Woo! Maybe interlace your fingers, reach your arms all the way up overhead. And then let's go ahead, bring your hands wide. So maybe you bring your hands off the yoga mat this time. We're going to work more at the chest. So bring your hands off the mat. Kick your feet towards the back of the room. Take a deep inhale, and then exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. 2 more. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. Last one. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. Come back, sit onto your heels, curling those toes under. Feel Feeling good. And then let's go ahead, bring your hands towards the top of the mat this time. So it's a little bit of like a Superman push-up. So you have your heels kicked towards the back of the room. Your arms or your wrists are in front of the shoulders, and we could go ahead, push down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, push down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. 2 more. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. Last one. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. Come back into your seated position. And let's try the diamond push-ups without the block. So bring your index finger and your thumb together. These are definitely the hardest ones for me. I don't know about you guys. But go ahead, kick your heels towards the back of the room. And then let's exhale down. Inhale, push up. Exhale down. Inhale, push up. We got 3 more. Exhale down. Inhale, push up. 2 more. And down. Inhale, push up. 1 last one. Inhale, push up. And then let's find our downward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Draw your hips up towards the sky. Pedal the feet left and right, left and right. Let your head hang heavy and shake it a couple of times. Yes and no. Oh. Go ahead, slowly walk your feet in towards your hands. So take 1 foot at a time. Walking up into a forward fold. Maybe come up high on your fingertips if you need to, especially in the beginning of the practice. Have soft knees. Bring your chest to your thighs. And then you can take your hands, reach them back behind the knees. Let your head hang heavy. Lift your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Find your breath. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Hug the belly in, reach the crown of the head towards the front of the room. Exhale, fold down towards the floor. Inhale, root to rise, bring your arms all the way out and up overhead. Palms touch, cross just the thumbs. Inhale, lift through your chest, find the back bend, push your hips forward, reach your arms back. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step it back, find your plank position. Hug the belly in. Exhale, low plank. Chaturanga, come down halfway. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, lift, upward facing dog. So it's just your hands and the tops of your feet down onto the floor. Lift your thighs up off the ground. Lift through your heart. So upward facing dog's not so bad unless you have to hold it for a long period of time. So let's go ahead and hold it for about 30 seconds. So keep lifting through the chest. We're looking up, but we're not necessarily cocking our head back, but lifting through our sternum. Roll your shoulders down and back. And keep pressing the tops of the feet down into the floor. Contract your quadriceps to help lift the knee, engaging your legs. Keep breathing. And I'm just guessing here, but let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, find your downward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Push your hips up high to the sky. Whew. Let's go ahead and do that again. Come up high on the toes, bend the knees, lift between the hands, walk or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Take the hands behind the calves. And go ahead, let your head hang heavy. Release your hands down to the floor. Find your half lift. Maybe you bring them up to your shins. Draw your hands towards the back of the room. Squeeze the pinkies together. Come up high in your tippy toes for a diver's position. So engage your calves. Maybe reach your hands towards the front of the room. So it's just an option. See if you can stay high on the tippy toes. Exhale, fold down towards the floor. Drop your heels. Inhale, root to rise. Bring your arms all the way out and up overhead. Palms touch, cross the thumbs, find the back bend, push your hips forward, reach your heart up and back. Exhale, fold all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step it back, find your plank. Deep inhale, exhale, chaturanga, low plank. Hover just off the floor in the low plank, uncurl the toes. Inhale, lift, upward facing dog, hold the upward facing dog. Lift through the chest, roll the shoulders down and back. Let's go ahead and look over the right shoulder. Stretching through the left side of the neck and then back into the center. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. See if you can maintain the breath. Press the tops of the feet down into the floor and then back to the center. Keep lifting through your chest. Keep rolling the shoulders down and back. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down, low plank, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your hips high to the sky. Pedal the feet. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knee. Bring it into your nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lift it up to the sky. Last one. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Step your foot between your hands. Drop your left knee down onto the mat. Low lunge. Walk your hands up to your knee. Take your hands onto your hips and push your hips forward. So find the back bend. Lift through your heart. If you are able to, or if you want to go further, take your hands all the way up, over, and back behind you. Find the back bend. Keep pushing the hips forward and down. Lift your heart up and back. Slowly come on out of it. Bring your hands in the heart center, and then take your hands behind the back body. Interlace all 10 fingers. And then reach your hands on the inside of the left hamstring. Go ahead, find the back bend. Once again, maybe your fingertips could touch the floor. So lift the heart. I'm not close, but I'm going to try. Go ahead, find the back bend. And then slowly come on out of it. Curl the left toes under, plant the left hand down onto the floor. Inhale, lift the right hand up towards the sky. So revolve side angle, lift your left knee. Bring your left ribs close to the inner right thigh. Spin both feet towards the side of the room. Bring your hand towards the back. And then lift your right foot up and step it behind you, wild thing. Lift your hips high to the sky. You always have the option of flipping all the way into full wheel if you'd like. So if you want, you got to press into the heel of your hand and turn the fingertips towards you. You could alternate shifting your weight forward into your shoulders and back into your legs. And when you're ready, slowly come on out of it. Lift your right leg up high to the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, coming into a pyramid pose. So make sure your feet are about 3 feet apart. Shift the back left foot down, drawing the heel in and the toes out. Inhale, find the half lift with the flat back. Shift the weight in the front right leg. Exhale, fold over the front leg. Plant your left hand down. Inhale, lift the right arm up towards the sky. So square off your pelvis. Draw both hands down towards the floor. Find blocks. Come into a supported warrior 3 pose. So shift the weight forward. Lift the left foot up. Kick the heel towards the back of the room. Lift through the chest. So we have no excuses for having bad form because we're using blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books. Roll the left hip down towards the floor, squaring off the hips, and then inhale, lift your right arm up towards the sky, coming into a revolved half moon. Keep kicking your heel towards the back of the room. Flex the foot, spread the toes wide, and then contract your quadricep, finding some power in the leg. Drop both hands down to the floor. We can get rid of the blocks. Open up the left hip. Peel the knee open and walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. So really stretch out through the left side of the body. Walk your hands back to frame the foot, finding your standing splits once again. Let's go ahead, take your left foot, tap it to the back of the room. Inhale, lift it back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tap it to the left side of the room. So bend the right knee, tap the foot down to the left. Inhale, lift it back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tap it to the right. Inhale, lift it back up towards the sky. Exhale, swing it between your legs, coming into a pistol squat. And then come all the way back up into your standing splits. Let's go ahead and do that again. So exhale, bend the right knee, tap the left foot behind you. Inhale, lift it up, tap the left foot to the left. Inhale, lift it up, tap the left foot to the right. Inhale, lift it up, and then pistol squat. Hover the left foot up off the floor to the front of the room. And then come back into your standing splits once again. Let's do one more. Bend the right knee, tap the left foot behind you. Inhale, lift it up. Tap the left foot to the left. Inhale, lift it up. Tap the left foot to the right. Inhale, lift it up. And then tap it in front of you. Pistol squat. Come up high on the right tippy toes. And then go ahead, send it back up to the sky. Let's come into the balance challenge. Maybe bring your right hand behind the calf. Maybe your left hand meets it. Bend your elbows. Bring your chest closer to your thigh. If you fall, that's okay. Just come back into it. Whew. And then slowly release your hands down to the floor. Bend the right knee. Step both feet back. Let's take a flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, hold the upward facing dog. This is going to be a little bit of our pause point throughout the class. So stay lifted through the chest. Roll the shoulders down and back. Find the breath. Find the softness in the pose. Where are we holding tension? Where can we soften? And then exhale, come back into your chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. This is a resting position. Go ahead, shake your head, yes and no. Release your tension, hug the belly in. Find your Uddiyana Bandha. That's where we hug in all the organs. Hollowing out the stomach. Widen through the collarbone and feel the sensation in the floor between all 10 fingers. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. We've got 3. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lift it up. Last one, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, low lunge. Drop the right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Maybe walk your hands up to your knee. And then if you want, you can put your hands onto the low back, pushing your hips forward, down, heart up and back. And if you want to go, you can stop here. If you want to go further, bring your hands back. Find the back bend, lift through your heart, push the hips more forward, reach back, look back. And then slowly come on out of it. Interlace all 10 fingers behind the back body. So we're doing a deep hip flexor psoas stretch. Go ahead, reach your hands on the inside of the right hamstring all the way down towards the floor. Find the back bend once again. And then slowly come on out of it. Plant your right hand down onto the floor, curl the right toes under, lift the right knee. Left hand goes towards the sky, so revolve side angle. Kick the right heel towards the back of the room. And then take both feet, turn them towards the side. So pivoting both feet coming onto the blade of the right foot. And go ahead, lift the left foot up and step it behind you, wild thing. If you want to come into the full wheel, go ahead, pivot on the heel of the right hand. Maybe bring your feet in. Try to keep the feet no wider than hip distance apart. You can play around with shifting your weight. Remember to breathe in this position. And then when you're ready, slowly come back into your three-legged dog. Go ahead, find your pyramid position. So bend the knee and step the foot between, or it comes short of the hands, and then hop the right foot forward into your pyramid pose. So your feet are about 3 feet apart. Level off your hips, pulling the left hip back, right hip more forward. Inhale, half lift with the flat back. Exhale, fold over the front left leg. Plant your right hand down on the floor. Inhale, lift the left arm up towards the sky. Pull the left hip back. Gaze down at the floor, find your blocks, come into your modified warrior 3. So using the blocks, kick the right heel towards the back of the room, roll the right hip down towards the floor, and then lift through the chest. So we want to bring our gaze down at the floor, opening up through the chest. Flex the right foot, spread the toes. So I find the length with the leg. So imagine you're kicking your heel all the way to that back wall. Plant your right hand down, inhale, lift the left arm up towards the sky. Find the revolved half moon. Maybe you gaze at the back of the left hand, it's just an option. As you look over the left shoulder. And then go ahead, release both hands down to the floor. Find your standing splits where we open up the right hip. Walk your hands off to the left side of the mat. Bend the knee, peel the hip open. Feel the stretch in the whole right side of the body. And then walk your hands back to frame the foot. We're going to do the toe tap where we tap the right foot to the back, to the right, to the left, and to the front. So go ahead, soften the left knee. Tap the foot to the back of the room. Inhale, lift it up. Tap it off to the right. Bend the knee, tap off to the right. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, tap it to the left. Inhale, lift it up. And then swing the foot in front. Find your pistol squat. Go ahead, kick your heel to the front of the room. Inhale, lift it up, standing splits. Right leg goes high. Exhale, tap it to the back. Inhale, lift it up. Tap your foot to the right. Inhale, lift it up. Tap your foot to the left. Inhale, lift it up. And go ahead, find your pistol squat. Come up high on your left tippy toes in order to come into this position. Go ahead, swing the foot all the way back up. Find your standing splits. We've got one more set. Go ahead, tap the foot to the back. Inhale, lift it up. Tap it to the right. Inhale, lift it up. Tap it to the left. Inhale, lift it up. And then find your pistol squat. Whew. Go ahead, lift it up. And then move into your balance challenge. Maybe bring your left hand behind the calf. Maybe the right hand meets it. Bring your chest into the quadricep. Let your head hang heavy. And then release your hands down to the floor. Step back. Let's take a flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pause. So lift through the heart. Press the tops of the feet down into the floor. Remind the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find the chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your hips high to the sky. Come up high on the toes, bend the knees, look between the hands, walk or jump to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let's plant the left hand down onto the floor. Inhale, lift the right arm up towards the sky. Find the twist. You can go ahead and straighten the right leg, bend the left. Go ahead, bring your right hand down to the floor. Inhale, lift the left arm up tall towards the sky. Hang in there, guys, you're doing it. Slowly release both hands down to the floor. Drop the hips down. Inhale, lift chair pose. So lift through your heart, tuck the tailbone under, and then check your knees. Make sure they're behind the toes. Spiral the pinkies in to drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Find the breath. Take your hands, interlace all 10 fingers behind the back body and punch the back of the room. Open up through the heart, roll your shoulders back. Go ahead, roll your hands to the left, look over the right shoulder. So you're just tilting, finding a little gentle twist. And then inhale back into the center. Exhale, twist to the left. Swing your arms off to the right. And then move it back towards the center. Release your hands, bring your arms all the way back up towards the sky. Once again, find the breath. And then exhale, fold all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Oh, it might feel really good to stand up by now. Bring your arms all the way out and up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands in the heart center. Just take a moment in Samastitihi. Find the breath, relax the shoulders down, feel the feet grounding down into the floor. So maybe lift your toes up off the ground and then go ahead, spread them wide and then bring them down onto the floor, gripping the ground with your toes. Press down through the ball of your feet, pressing down through all four corners as you lift through the arches of the foot. Find the inward spiral of the inner thighs. And then if your pelvis likes to tip forward a lot, or if you're a big back bender, try to find the neutral pelvis as you lift through the heart and drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Take the crown of the head, the occipital ridge in the back of the head, lift it up tall towards the sky, finding some nice, beautiful posture. We could be practicing this all the time in our daily lives. It'll prevent so many problems for us. Inhale, bring your arms out and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step it back, plank pose. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pause here for just a moment. And then find your push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring your right knee into your right tricep. Drop it down to the right wrist. Inhale, lift the right leg high. Let's do two more. Exhale, right knee, right tri. Drop it down to the right wrist. Inhale, lift it high. Last one, right tricep, right wrist. Inhale, lift it high. And then if you have the arm balance, maybe you could bring your right knee into the right tricep. You could hold it there. Maybe float the left foot up off the mat. So go ahead, Ekapada Kundiyasana 2. Maybe drop the left elbow into the side ribs or not. You can take your pick. Maybe float your left foot off the mat. Maybe straighten the right leg. Inhale, lift the right leg high. And I notice if you widen your hands just a little bit, if you want to do that again, maybe you can try it without the left elbow onto the ribs. So just give it a shot, see how you feel. So to either repeat the same one you just did. And if you need to get the leg higher on the thigh, go ahead and do so. So I had it kind of off to the side. It's definitely still challenging for me to do that as well. Get your feet into a warrior one feet. So drop the left heel down onto the floor. And then bring your fingertips just off to hover the ground. So find your little jazz hands in your warrior one. Draw the right hip back. Lift through the heart. So you're just hovering the fingertips off the ground. Maybe swing them back and forth a couple of times. And then take your hands behind the back body. Interlace all 10 fingers and push your hands towards the back of the room. Lift through your chest. Roll the arms open. And then exhale, humble warrior. Bring your chest on the inside of the thigh. Reach your arms up overhead. You can drop your head down towards the floor. Inhale, find the back bend. Lift your torso all the way up. Bend through the right leg. Draw your hands down towards the floor. Exhale, humble warrior. Draw your chest on the inside of the thighs. Reach your arms all the way up overhead. Go ahead, press your right foot into the floor. Find the back bend, push yourself up. Take a deep inhale, lift your chest. Draw the hands towards the floor. Exhale, humble warrior. Last one, reach your arms all the way up and overhead. And then inhale, push up, find the back bend. Whew. Let's go ahead, straighten the right leg. Bring your arms out like the letter T. Hug the belly in. Find the twist. You can bring your right hand onto the right hip and then take your left hand to the outside of the right foot. So coming into a revolved triangle. You can use a block here if you need to. If you want, maybe you lift your right hand up towards the sky. Maybe you drop down to the heel of the left hand. Gently release both hands down to the floor. Come up high on the back right tippy toes or left tippy toes. Drop the left hand down, inhale, lift the right hand up towards the sky. Let's pivot to the right side of the room. So pivot your feet and then toe heel the right foot all the way back towards your hips. Coming into Vishnu's couch. Reach your right arm all the way up overhead. And then exhale, drop your hips and drop your hand towards the back of the room. Inhale, lift your hips, reach your arm up overhead. Exhale, bring your hip down just to hover off the floor. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower the hip. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower the hip. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower it down. Walk your hands coming into a cross-legged fold. So press your big toes down into the floor and let your head hang heavy. You'll feel the strong stretch in the right side of the IT band of the right leg. Bring your arms out like the letter T. Lift through your chest. And then slowly come on up. Bring your arms all the way out and up overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling and then bend back towards the back of the room. Reaching over the right shoulder, so bringing your arms all the way up and over to the right. And then reach your arms up and over to the left. Release your hands, pivot on your feet, and then come all the way towards the back of the room. Toes in, heels out, lift through your chest, and then swan dive down towards the floor. Find a wide leg fold. You can widen your feet as much as you would like. Go ahead, bring your hands on the outside edges of the feet. And bring your collarbone down towards the floor, forehead down towards the ground. And then bend the elbows to touch the shins. If you have a strong headstand in your practice, go ahead, press your head down into the floor, coming into a tripod headstand. Go ahead, bring your legs all the way out and up overhead. And if you are able to bring your legs into an L shape, go ahead and do so. So slowly lower the hips. Halfway, coming into the L. And then go ahead, open up your legs wide. And slowly come back down into your wide leg fold. Walk your hands all the way back up to the top of the mat. Let's go ahead, step it back. Find your plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pause here for just a moment. And then find your push-up. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Push your hips high to the sky. And let's come down into a child's pose. Bring your knees wide. Drop your hips to your heels. We'll just take a rest in between sides. So let's go ahead, come back into your downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips high to the sky. Let's go ahead, work the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, bring your left knee into your left thigh. Drop it down to your left wrist. Inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, left knee, left thigh. Drop it to the left wrist. Inhale, lift it high. Last one, left knee, left thigh. Drop it to the wrist. Inhale, lift it high. And you have the option to come into the Ekapada Kundiyasana too. So go ahead, you can bring your knee into the thigh, hold it here. Maybe you drop your right elbow down. And go ahead, lift your back right foot up off the mat. And then slowly come back, lifting the left leg high. Yeah, you have the option of widening your hands this time. See if you could bring your elbow off the right side ribs. See if you can do it without using what we call the training wheel. Go ahead, bring your left thigh up high, and then slowly lean forward, lifting your right foot up off the floor. And then slowly come back up. Inhale, lift, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, warrior one. Drop the right heel down onto the floor. Stay low. And then just bring your fingertips to hover off the floor. You can swing your hands back and forth a couple of times. Stay lifted through your chest. Keep pulling the left hip back. Take your hands towards the back of the room, palm face down. Squeeze your pinkies together. Keep your chest lifted off the left thigh. Then take your hands, interlace all 10 fingers, and shoot them towards the back of the room. Roll your shoulders open, lift through your heart. Exhale, humble warrior. Bring your chest on the inside of the thighs, reach your arms all the way up overhead. Inhale, lift, find the back bend. Press your left foot down into the floor, lift through your heart. Hands chase the floor. Exhale, humble warrior. Draw the chest on the inside of the thigh. Reach your arms all the way up and overhead. You can do it. I know it's hard, but you can do it. Inhale, lift. Find the back bend. Open up through your heart. Open your shoulders. Press your hands down. Exhale, humble warrior. Bring your arms all the way up and overhead. And then inhale, lift. Find the back bend. And then straighten the leg out. Bring your arms out like the letter T. You can put your left hand onto the left hip and then find the revolved pyramid. I'm gonna hop my right foot forward just a little bit. Go ahead, square off the hips. I'll pull the left hip back, right hip more forward, and then take your right hand to the outside of the left foot. And then take your left hand towards the ceiling. Just an option. Whew. If you get a little wobbly, just go ahead, adjust yourself. I was trying to bring the heel of my hand down to the floor. Just play, have fun. There we go. So I feel it a lot on the outside of my left leg, my left IT band. Go ahead, soften the left knee. Bring your hand onto the inside of the left foot. Coming into a revolved side angle, lifting your left hand up towards the sky. And then pivot your feet to the side of the room. Toe heel the left foot to all the way back to the hips. Press your feet down into the floor as you reach your right arm all the way up overhead. Exhale, drop your hip down to hover the floor. Reach your hand to the back of the room. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, reach overhead, lift your hips. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. You got two more. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, lift it up. And then let's come into a wide leg fold. So walk your hands all the way in between your legs. Press your feet down into the floor. So press the big toes down into the ground a lot so if their toes are popping up. Go ahead, keep pressing them all the way down. Come up high in your fingertips. Maybe come into the letter T. So bring your arms out to the sides. Find the half lift. And then hinge at the hips, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers, flip your hands towards the sky. Reach them to the back of the room. Keep pressing the big toes down into the floor. And then reach your arms to the front of the room. Release your hands, out to the letter T, pivot on your feet. And let's find our wide leg folds. You could adjust your feet if you need to. Lift through your heart. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor. Release your hands down. Walk your hands in between the legs all the way towards the back of the room. Let your head hang heavy. Shift the weight into your toes so your hips are directly over your ankles. And then we'll come into another tripod headstand. It's just going to be another variation. So you can either do the same one we did last time, the tripod headstand, or you can try another version where we bring our hands off to the sides and you're up high on your fingertips. So go ahead, drop your head down to the floor. And then come up high on the tippy toes. See if you can lift your legs off the floor and slowly bring them together. Whew. So find the breath in this position, hug the belly in, press your fingertips down, find the inward spiral of the thighs, and then maybe bring your feet into that L shape. See if we can try it from this position. I don't really know. Sometimes I'm just trying stuff on camera. And go ahead, bring your legs wide. Whew. And then slowly come on down to the floor. That was fun. Lock your hands all the way to the top of the mat. Step it back, find your plank. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hold it just for a moment or two. And let's go find our push-up. Inhale, up, or push-up, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high to the sky. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Find a crescent position to begin. So inhale, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky. Your feet are parallel like a railroad track or skis. Melt into the front right leg. Let's draw our arms down and back. Squeeze the pinkies together, coming into a lightning crescent. And then inhale, lift. Find your arms in a cactus position. Find the back bend. Spiral the pinkies in, lift through your heart. Exhale, draw the arms down and back. Squeeze the pinkies in. Inhale, lift. Find the cactus. Spiral the pinkies, cactus the arms, lift through the heart, back bend. Exhale, draw the arms down and back. And then last one, inhale, lift. Find the cactus of the arms. Find the back bend. And then reach your arms up tall towards the sky. Find your revolved crescent. Bring your arms, open them up, bringing your right hand to the back of the room, left hand to the front, and work on bringing your right hand towards the back left heel, bringing your shoulders over the hips. Drop your right hand onto the left hamstring, find the back bend. Reach your left arm all the way up overhead. Whew. And then exhale, bring your hands into prayer. Take your hands into a revolved crescent prayer twist. So bring your left elbow all the way to the outside of the left leg. Bring your hands in the heart center. So you can stay here, or you have the option to open the arms up. If you'd like to do that, go ahead and try. Maybe bring the heel of the left hand down to the floor. Right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And you can always come into a side crow from here. So maybe you want to roll your right hand down to the floor. And just toe heel the right toe off to the side. Find your flying crow. When you're ready, slowly come back into the revolved crescent. If you have it in you to do the bind, the reverse bind, go ahead, reach your left arm underneath the body. Find your hands. And then maybe look up at the ceiling over the right shoulder. Whew. Look up over the right shoulder. It's hard to talk and do this. And then, if you want, let's go ahead and come into revolved bird of paradise. So it's just an option. It can be challenging, but let's have some fun. Go ahead, bring the left foot forward. Come up high on the right tippy toes. And then maybe you go ahead and straighten your right leg towards the front of the room. Lift through the chest. If you're here and you feel good, maybe you come into the eagle position. Ooh, this one's a lot harder for me. So we'll go ahead, step the foot back down, and then step the left foot to the back of the room. Release your hands down to frame the foot. Whew. Walk your hands on the inside of the right foot, and then walk them all the way to the front of the room. And then drop your back left heel or knee down onto the floor, coming into a lizard position. So you can take your right hand, come onto the blade of the right foot, and really push your knee open, finding a stretch through the right hip. And if you want to go down to your elbows, you can go ahead and do so. Come back up. Reach around with your right hand, catch your foot, and then draw your heel into your glutes. Look over the right shoulder. If you guys want to try an added challenge, this is another option. Go ahead and release your foot. Find the crescent prayer twist. Okay, this one's going to get funky. Okay, so get your crescent prayer twist. And go ahead, bend, open up your arms, bend the back foot. Bring your foot all the way over to the left side of the mat, and then with your left hand, grab the foot and reach your right arm up overhead. And then slowly come on out of it. And then, let's come into a half split. So it's a nice little counter pose. Inhale, half lift. So I can't really talk much in that pose because that's really challenging for me. Exhale, fold all the way down to the floor. But you guys get the idea. Go ahead, shift it forward. And then you can just bring your right foot back. Let's find our flow. So inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pause for just a moment. Exhale, push up. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step it between the hands, crescent position. Come up high in the fingertips and then slowly come all the way up. Moving into a lightning crescent, so draw your arms down and back. Squeeze your pinkies together, lift through your chest. Inhale, cactus your arms, find the back bend. Bring your elbows in, spiral the pinkies in, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Lift through your heart. Exhale, draw the arms down and back. Squeeze the pinkies, lift through the chest. Exhale, or slowly come on up. Inhale, find the back bend. Melt through your left knee. Cactus the arms. One more, draw the arms down and back. And then inhale, lift, find the back bend. Elbows in, spiral the pinkies in, lift through the heart. Reach your arms up tall towards the sky, revolved crescent. Right arm forward, left arm back, and then track your left hand towards the back of the room. Bringing your shoulders directly over the hips. Find the twist. Drop your left hand into the inner right thigh. Reach your right arm all the way up overhead. Revolve crescent prayer twist. Bring your hands into a prayer. Bring your right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Bring your hands into prayer. You have an option to open the arms. If you want to fly your arms in opposition. And then maybe bring your left hand down to the floor. Find your flying crow. So go ahead, lean forward, lift your feet up off the floor. When you're ready, slowly come on out of it. Come back into the revolved crescent. We have our revolved bird of paradise after this. So go ahead, find your bind. So you gotta reach your hands underneath your back body. Look over the left shoulder. Gaze down at the floor. Hop the right foot forward. Come up high on the left tippy toes. Whew. My left leg is burning. Go ahead, kick your foot forward. Find the revolved bird of paradise. Lift through your heart. And if you can, maybe you could find the eagle. So you gotta bend the right leg. So it doesn't matter if you have that double wrap. Just try your best. And then slowly come on out of it. Step your foot to the back of the mat. Reach your arms in between the left foot. Walk them all the way to the top of the mat. So find some length in the torso. And then go ahead, drop your right knee down onto the floor, coming into a lizard. You can toe heel the left foot off to the left side of the mat. Plant your right hand down, use your left hand, push the left knee open. So maybe come onto the blade of the left foot. You have the option of coming down to your elbows. Just depends how open your hips are, how good you feel in all these different positions. So just test your edges, see what feels good. And then go ahead, walk your hands up. Bend your right knee, reach around, catch your foot, draw your heel into the glute. And then for that funky move, if you guys want to give it a try, I like to come out of it just a little bit and come into your revolved crescent prayer twist in the kneeling position. So bring the right elbow all the way to the outside of the left leg. So the key here is really to get a good twist. Go ahead, open up the arms, flying the arms open. Come up onto the thigh bone, so bend your right knee. Bring your heel all the way into the glute. Bring your right hand around to catch the foot and then reach your left arm up overhead. So find a nice grip. Reach your left arm up overhead. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on out. Whew. Go ahead, release your foot. Release your hands to either side. Go ahead, step it back. Find your plank position. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. You guys, that was awesome. Go ahead, bring your knees wide, heels together, feet together, find your child's pose. Take a moment, just breathe. Let's go ahead, come together, curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, revolve the cheetah. Bring your right knee to the left tricep. Drop it down to the left wrist. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, left knee, left tri, left wrist, lift it up. Left knee, left tri, left wrist, kick it up. This last one, kick the leg through. Find the extended side plank. Left knee, right knee, left tri. Go ahead, pivot onto the left foot, the inside edge, and find your extended side plank. Lift through the hips. And then draw the right hand down to the floor. Come up high on your left tippy toes. Go ahead, find your push-up through 3. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, push up. You got one more. Exhale, down. Inhale, push up. Lift your right leg up high to the sky. And then step the foot between the hands. Find your crescent position again. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky. Whee! And then come up high in your right tippy toes. Let's see if we can add this little challenge in, strengthening our calves. And then go ahead, drop your heel, straighten your leg, drop your arms. Inhale, come back into your crescent. Lift your arms, come up high on the tippy toe again. We'll just do 3 of these, so hang in there. Drop your heel, drop your arm, straighten the leg. And then melt into it, find the crescent. Inhale, lift the heel up. You got it. Drop the heel, drop your arm, straighten the leg. And then inhale, lift, crescent position, drop the left heel, warrior 2. Open the arms up. So lift through the arches of the back foot as you extend your arms in opposition. Flip your right hand up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. Reach your arms all the way up and overhead. So really stretch your right arm, lengthening through the elbow, lengthening through the arm, reaching your fingertips towards the back corner of the room. Lift the right side ribs up tall towards the ceiling. Exhale, side angle. Bring your right elbow into the inner right knee as you reach the left arm all the way up and overhead, so extended side angle. Take both hands to frame the face. So lift the right arm up as well. And then find reverse triangle, straighten the right leg. Reach your arm all the way up and overhead. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. Tip your left hip back. Reach your hands towards the front of the room. Find the full triangle. You can put your hand on their shin or to the outside of the right ankle. Look over the left shoulder. Soften the right knee a lot. Look forward. Find your half moon position. So bring your hand all the way off to the right side of the mat. It's about 1 foot in front of your foot. Lift your left foot up off the floor. Flex the foot, peel the hip open. And then you can play around with the gaze. Maybe look at the side wall or up towards the ceiling. Whew. Gaze back down at the floor. If you want to add in Chapasana, go ahead. Bend your knee, reach around, catch your foot. And then it's an option in this position if you want to reach both hands to catch the foot. So just play with that. Slowly release when you're done. Come back into your half moon. Soften the right leg. Come back into your warrior 2. Melt into the right knee. Stretch the arms in opposition. Let's fly the warrior. Inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, melt into the warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your legs, arms up overhead. Exhale, melt into warrior 2. Last one, inhale, arms up overhead, straighten the leg. Exhale, melt into warrior 2. From warrior 2, maybe you lift your right tippy toes off the mat. Let's hang out here, just really working the calf on the right side. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cartwheel your arms all the way down to the floor. Whew. Find your plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hold. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Drop it down to the left wrist or the right wrist. Inhale, lift, left leg goes high. Exhale, left knee, right tri, right wrist. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, left knee, right tri, right wrist. Inhale, lift it up, and then let's find extended side plank. So kick your left foot all the way up and over to the right side of the room. Lift your right hand up. So press your feet into the floor, lift your hips a little taller, reach your arm all the way up overhead, and then roll your hands down into the push-up position. Come up high on the right tippy toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Last one, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Bring your left foot all the way up high to the sky. And then step the foot between the hands. Let's find our crescent position. Come up high on the fingertips, and then inhale, lift your arms up. Let's go ahead, come up high on your right tippy or left tippy toes. Drop your left heel, drop your arm, straighten your leg. Go ahead, crescent position. Come up high on the left tippy toes. Drop your left heel, drop your arm, straighten the leg. Last one, inhale, crescent position. Come up high on the left tippy toes. Work on strengthening the calf, you can do it. You might be wobbling a little bit, that's okay. Drop your left heel, straighten your left leg, drop your arms, and then come back in your crescent position. Drop your right heel down onto the mat. Open your arms up. Warrior two. So yeah, toe heel the left toe forward if you need to. Reverse warrior. Lift your left arm all the way up and over. Fan out the left side ribs. Really stretch the fingertips towards the back of the room. You can work on dropping your right hand down. Side angle. So bring your left elbow into the left knee and extend the right arm all the way up and overhead. So it's an extended side angle. Bring your left hand to meet it. So biceps frame the face. And then find your reverse triangle. Straighten the leg, reach your left arm all the way up and overhead. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. Tip your right hip back, reach the left arm more forward. Find the triangle, your hand could be onto the shin or the outside of the ankle. And then look over the right shoulder if you can. So we're going to shortening the right side waist and lengthening through the left side waist. Gaze down at the left foot, soften the left knee a lot. We're going to reach the left hand to the left corner of the mat. Find your half moon, flex the right foot, spread the toes. Go ahead and bend the right knee a lot. Reach your right hand around, catch the foot, Chapasana. And if you want to play around with the left hand holding the foot, go ahead and give it a try. You can tell I'm still working that as well. And then when you're ready, slowly release. Come back into your warrior two. Soften the left leg. Reach your arms in opposition. Straighten the legs, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, melt into the warrior two. Inhale, straighten, fly your warrior. Exhale, bend. Last one, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, melt into the warrior two. Maybe come up high on the tippy toes one last time, just for fun. And then cartwheel your arms down to the floor. Step it back, find your plank pose. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, push up. And then downward facing dog. Hips high to the sky. Let's go ahead, drop down to our knees. Move into camel pose. So put our hands on the low back. Push your hips forward, lift your heart back, swing your elbows back. Maybe drop your hands down to your heels. Fingers on the inside of the arches, thumbs on the outside of the heels. And lift your heart up, push your hips forward. Slowly bring your hands back up onto the low back. And then let's come and do another variation. Let's bring your right foot to the top of the mat. Maybe you need a block for this one. You could play around with it, but we'll bring our hands onto the hips and then work on bringing your left hand to the heel. Maybe your right hand comes down to the floor. Find the camel. If you're able to get rid of the block, go ahead and see if you can try to get rid of it. Open through your heart. And then you have the option to straighten the right leg. So maybe you can toe heel the right leg to the front. And then bring your left arm up. Slowly bend your right leg. Bring your hand back onto the left heel. You can bring your hands back on the hips. And then slowly come on up. Whew. That one's challenging. Let's go ahead and try that on the other side. So bring your hand onto the left block. Take your left foot forward. And then take your block back, just as a precautionary measure. And then find your camel on the other side. Drop your right hand down. So find your positioning. Maybe get rid of your left block. And then maybe you straighten the left leg. And bring your right hand towards the ceiling. Push your hips forward. Slowly come back. Put your hands back on your hips. Whew, and slowly come on up. Okay, there's one more stretch that I'd like to do in this position. So go ahead, we'll switch legs, bring your right foot forward. And then we'll reach your right peace fingers around the right big toe. Curl the left toes under. You can drop your hips down to the left heel. And then go ahead and start to kick your right foot forward. Lift your hips up off the heel. See if you can straighten your leg. And drop your hips down. Come back into your tabletop position. Let's change legs. Bring your left foot forward. You can put your peace fingers on your left big toe. Go ahead, drop your hips to your heel. And then you can walk your right hand behind the back body. Go ahead, kick your left foot forward. See if you can straighten your leg. And as you do so, go ahead, lift your hips up off your heel. And then slowly come on out of it. Whew. Let's go ahead, swing the legs out front. Coming into a boat posture. So find your boat, Navasana. Maybe you can straighten your legs. This is definitely a challenge for me, but I'm gonna try. My hamstrings, I always wrestle with them. Whew. Let's come down into low boat. And as we're in low boat, imagine you're throwing your legs down to the floor. So we're gonna lift them up towards the sky, and then imagine you're tossing them to the floor. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift your legs back up, bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug. So let's do that again where we're throwing the legs to the floor, but we'll shift it off to the right. So go ahead, lean forward. I like to put my fingertips down onto the floor, bring your legs up towards the sky, and then swing your legs off to the right, like you're throwing it to the floor and lift it up. So throw it down. Your back might come off the floor, that's okay. We got 3, 2, last one. Lift it up, knees into your chest. Give yourselves a big hug. We just got one more side, you can do it. Bring your fingertips to the floor, lift your left leg, lift your legs up, and go ahead, swing them down to the floor. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a big hug. Whew. Feels good. Let's go ahead and come into some stretches. So roll on up. And let's find half of a frog. So if we can bring our right foot out to the side. We have our right hand down onto the floor. Inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. And you can toe heel your right toe in as much as you need to, but you want to catch the outside edge of the right foot. Roll onto the left scapula or the left shoulder or the back of the head. And then you can toe heel your toe out, back out if you need to, but we're working on rolling onto the left shoulder blade. And the back of the left head is going to be a strong twist. Keep pressing your right foot down into the floor, reach your arm up overhead, and you're looking underneath your right bicep. And then slowly come on out of it. Take your right hand onto the left ankle. Slowly sit down and bring your ankle to the outside of the left hip. You're going to reach your right arm all the way around, catch the outside edge of the right foot with your left hand, and then roll the left shoulder open. Look underneath the left bicep. So you're working on pushing your left shoulder, opening it up, and pushing your right shoulder into the inner right thigh. And then slowly release. Come on out of it, and let's work the other side. So come back forward, and then bend your right knee. Take your left foot out to the side. Plant your left hand down. Inhale, lift the right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. You can go ahead, toe heel the toe in if you need to. Otherwise, catch the foot with your right hand. Roll onto the back of the head. You can reach your left arm all the way up overhead. Work on straightening your left leg. And then roll onto the back of the right scapula, the right shoulder, the back of the head, feeling the stretch. It should be a strong stretch in through your back muscles. It should feel like a deep twist. And then gently come on up. Take your left hand, thread it underneath, find your right ankle, and then sit down in between the right ankle. So you're bringing your right ankle to the outside of the hip, and then roll forward, reach your right arm all the way up and overhead, catch the outside edge of the left foot. Press your left shoulder into the left knee as you roll the right shoulder open. And then gently come on out of it. Release your foot, release your hand. Let's come into a wide leg fold. So lift through the chest. Bring your legs out to the edges of the mat. And then slowly walk your hands down towards the floor. And find your comfortable resting place. And then gently come on up. Swing your legs together. Whew. This windshield wiper the legs, left and right. You guys are amazing. You guys did a great job. Let's go ahead, come into a shoulder stand. Let's do a different variation of the shoulder stand. So go ahead, come on up. Actually, let's find plow first. Sometimes it's easier to come into shoulder stand from plow. So go ahead, roll your legs all the way up and overhead. And put your hands onto your hips, and then lift your legs up tall towards the sky. So really come up high onto the shoulder blades. And then if you're able to, see if you can release your hands down to the floor. Keep pushing your hips forward, heels back. And then slowly come on down to the floor. See if you can roll up. And then if you have it in your practice to do a lotus, go ahead and do that. So if you can bring your foot, maybe you need to bring it into your chest just for a moment to kind of stretch it out. But maybe you could bring your ankle all the way up and over to the right hip. Maybe you take your right ankle on top of the left. So see if you could go ahead and play with that. Coming into the lotus, and then see if you could roll onto your back. Put your hands onto your hips. Coming into a shoulder stand this way. If you can, maybe you can bring your knees down towards the floor. And then another option is to take your hands onto your knees. Work on straightening your arms. And then slowly come on out of it. Whew. Come all the way back up. Let's change legs. So I had my right foot on top that time. Let's see if we could change sides. I'm gonna put my left leg on top. This go around. So just do the opposite of what you did the first time. So go ahead, sit up tall, and then go ahead, lean back. See if you could find your shoulder stand. Roll back. I find it easiest to bring your knees to your head first. So really kind of get up high onto your scapula. Then go ahead, bring your hands onto your knees. Whew, we're gonna roll out of it. Means I just gotta come up high on my shoulders. So keep pushing your hips forward, and then press your hands under your knees, straighten your arms. And then when you're ready, with control, slowly come on out of it. Whew. Unwind the legs. So lotus is really hard for me actually. That's okay. It's good to be humble. Let's roll all the way down to our floor. Bring your thighs to the outside of the ribs, hands to the outside of the feet. Find your happy baby. You can work on straightening one leg or the other or both legs. Just take your pick. Root your sacrum down onto the floor as you do so. As you gaze down the center line, bring your cervical spine down on the floor as well. And bring your knees into your chest. Let's plant your feet on the floor. Lift your hips off to the left side of the mat. Eagle your legs. Bring your left leg over the right and then drop your knees off to the right. Look over your left shoulder. And slowly come back to the center, unwind your legs, lift your hips, swing them off to the right, wrap your right leg around your left, eagle the legs, drop your legs off to the left side of the mat. And then unwind your legs, come back into the bridge position, lift your hips just a little bit, adding a little baby bridge to neutralize the spine. And go ahead and straighten your right leg, put your hands behind the calves, and draw your ankle towards your forehead for one last hamstring stretch. So this is for me, the area of my body that gets the most tight, that needs the most love. So maybe it's helpful for you too. Go ahead, bring your right foot down to the floor. Maybe your left foot comes up high. So keep dropping your hip down to the floor as you reach your foot back towards your head. Find the softness, send the breath to the places in your body where you feel the sensation. Let's bring both knees into the chest. Give yourselves one last big hug. Thank yourselves for all your successes. You guys are amazing. This was not easy at all. So Congratulate yourselves, even for trying something new. There's a lot of new stuff in here that I haven't done in my classes before. Slowly lower all the way down to the floor. Bring your arms up overhead, point your toes, and then gently come into your final Savasana. You can open your legs up. Feel your whole body relaxing, melting down into the floor. Imagine your body's really light right now. So feel the lightness of your body. It feels as if you're floating. Feel the support of the ground holding you. It's the one thing that will never drop you. So find comfort in that. Let's gently wake the body. Maybe feel your fingers, your toes. You can roll your wrists and your ankles. Make a fist. Reach your arms up overhead. Grow tall in the spine. Exhale, knees in your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Roll over to one side of the mat, resting on your right bicep. Take your left hand, push it into the floor, and then slowly come on up into a nice cross-legged position. Sit up tall. You can have your hands down for grounding or up for receiving. So the theme that I have been thinking about a lot lately is just communication. So yes, we are in the middle of a coronavirus, but how can we still find ways to communicate and connect with our people, with the people that we love? So sometimes there might be a lot of people that need connection, that need help. And if they do, they won't always ask for it. So find it in your hearts. How can I reach out to people and just tell them I love them, I care, and I'm here for them? So bring your hands in the heart center. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today. It was a challenging practice. I hope you enjoyed it. From my heart to yours, sending you all so much love, light, joy, and peace. Namaste.